The damning reports of Amnesty International against Nigerian military is already attracting interest from human rights agencies. Now, Global Amnesty Watch, an international body that monitors human rights issues, is the latest body to react to the report by Amnesty International. The body says it is difficult to rely on the report released by Amnesty International as the basis to evaluate the Nigerian military's activities in the northeast of the country.
Security experts, policy analysts, civil society groups and the media are here at the International Conference Center, Abuja, to analyze accusations of violations of human rights against the Nigerian military by Amnesty International. After review of the issues and carrying out their own independent findings, the Global Amnesty Watch says the military is still within the rules of engagement as it battles terrorists in the northeast of Nigeria.
To be reported, it's pretty simple. I don't think the army has anything to hide, so I don't think it's a problem that anything is reported. From what I have seen when I have been on the ground in various places, I haven't seen anything that is inappropriate since we're dealing with a war on terror. It's very difficult to make proper assessments unless you have been on the ground. Relying on third-party sources is very questionable. I would say that if advocacy groups want to be efficient, they need to go on the ground themselves and get a clear picture of what's happening, rather than relying on third-party sources. That said, there might be elements of what's been reported to us that are completely correct. Again, that said, it doesn't make it necessarily wrong for the army to clamp down on insurgents that are killing civilians. After all, this is a country that is, should be peaceful. Boko Haram is not here to help you. They are here to destabilize you. They're harming your economy. They're preventing kids from going to school. That should be the focus. This is not about the bad guys. The focus that has been, put on atrocities on Boko Haram, I think, is rather irrelevant, actually.
Speakers at the event say Amnesty International may have shifted its focus from real war against terrorism to less relevant issues of rights for terrorists. They want more support from the people and the international agencies for the military to put the war against terrorism to final rest.
A terrible paper was written against Nigeria. I was in the foreign service. So we rushed to the French press. They said, no, Oga, you have something to write against France? We said, yes. They said, no. Go to your country and write it. The French press will not write anything against the nation of France. But our press, you want to destabilize Nigeria, pay a journalist. You want to talk something about the military, pay a journalist. We need to come together. The press, the cleaner, the lecturer, the honorable, defend the interests of Nigeria. We need to be serious. The army cannot safeguard the country against the system when it does not have support. Total support must be given to our armed forces against Boko Haram and other threats.
I don't want to be very specific about the details of what Amnesty International has reeled out as their report, but we want to be very clear on one point, that Nigeria, and especially the armed forces of Nigeria, are completely misrepresented by that report. We have just been discussing in the last few minutes about the dividing line between what constitutes abuse to the fundamental human rights of citizens and criminality. I don't see any reason why somebody who is a terrorist, who has set up a structure to destroy human life, should be the one that should be on top of the index of human rights protection. They are totally unsubstantiated claims by most of these reports. Some of these things are bogus claims that have not been substantiated, and we must be very careful as a people not to be gullible. There is a third force, certainly, that is behind some of these reports.
Global Amnesty Watch wants the core issue of terrorism against the Nigerian people to be the focus of assessment and what the military has achieved so far, rather than other issues which Amnesty International is emphasizing.